Charlie, first of all, welcome to Melbourne.
Thanks very much.
How have the horses settled in here?
Yeah, good. They all travel pretty well and they've settled in pretty quickly, so I'm very happy at this stage.
Any issues with them coming over here? About weight loss or anything like that?
Just normal weight loss. Bauer gives himself a bit of a hard time on the flight, but at the same time, you know, we know that and he's fine now. He's settled in well and yeah, just everything normal.
Start off looking at Bauer, last start winner of the Old Borough Cup at Haydock in September. That was his first win for 3 years.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. I think it was a pretty emotional moment for everyone because, you know, he's had a few problems, and not to mention here in Melbourne last year was a sort of heart-wrencher. But anyway, look, he's back. He seems to be in great form. He did a piece of work yesterday and showed that he was sort of in good form and galloping the way we hope he does.
When will we see him at the races?
He runs this Saturday in the Herbert Power. Damien Oliver's going to take the ride, and we're looking forward to it.
What expectations have you got of him for Saturday?
Well, obviously, he's up against it to get a place into the Melbourne Cup. So the high expectation is obviously that he wins and gets a penalty that gets him high enough into the Melbourne Cup to get a run. But obviously realistic, while he's showing that he's in good form at the moment on the track and in the stable and out in the compound, until you race them, you're not actually going to know quite how much the flight has taken out of them. But at this stage, very happy.
With a forecast for a little bit of rain prior to Saturday, would a bit of given the ground be of a help?
No, he wants fast ground, but there's a big difference between Australian fast ground and European fast ground. So as long as it's on the fast side of good from a European point of view, then we'll be happy.
Manighar, third to Duke Up Box Jury in France at Deauville at his most recent run, and fourth in the Ascot Gold Cup this year also.
Yeah, fantastic. He's strengthened up this year, a year older. And his form's been very solid this year, so we're hoping that he can show a bit better this year.
So you think he'll be better this year than what he was last year?
He ran very well last year. He 7th in the Melbourne Cup, 5th in the Caulfield Cup, and 3rd in the Sandown Classic. So he paid his way and he ran solid races every time. But I do think a year on his back has probably helped him. He's a bit stronger mentally. He'll have grown up a lot. So we'll look forward to seeing him run the Caulfield Cup.
Last year was a very wet spring carnival. If it's a bit drier this year, would that be an issue for him? Does he need a wet track?
It's debatable. I think his stallion Linamix suggests that yes, he does need some cut in the ground, but he ran well last year in the Melbourne Cup on soft ground. But I don't think, as long as it's good, not too firm, I think we'll be okay.
Sahara Sun's only had the one run for the Cumani team, previously coming from Chile.
Yeah, he Chilean Derby runner-up. He's been with us since about March. Took a while to adapt to a different training method, i.e. up a hill rather than round a track, and so he had his first run for us and it was promising. He'll definitely improve for that and come on for it, but been really happy with the way he's adapted to training back on the track here at Werribee. He seems to be nice and relaxed and taking it all in his stride.
Happy with the way he settled in?
Yeah, great. He's quite a quiet horse, but at the same time sort of always does what you want, and we're very happy so far.
When's he going to run?
He runs this weekend in the Caulfield Stakes, so it's a bit of a jump into the unknown, I suppose. But I don't know what the full declared field is yet, but we were suspecting it was probably going to be about 8 runners, and that would probably have suited him better than running him at Cranbourne with a full field of 16. Stephen Arnold's going to take the ride, and we're looking forward to seeing what happens.
And will he go from there to the Caulfield Cup, or is it just the one run into the Melbourne Cup?
We'll see what happens this Saturday. As I say, we're going into the unknown a little bit, and so we'll just have to see and then make a plan from there.
Drunken Sailor, not the best campaign from him last year when he was over here. How's he come through this year though? Yeah,
good. He's had a very solid year in England. 1.5 miles, 3rd at Royal Ascot, which was a very good performance, and he won at Glorious Goodwood over 1.6 miles. So he is probably on the racecourse in better form this year than he was last year. And you could take him to the moon and he wouldn't really mind. He's a very easy traveller, and you can take him anywhere. And he's settled in well here. Happy.
And what's the path to the Cup for him?
He's going to the Caulfield Cup, and then all being well, Melbourne Cup. So far with him, it's the same route as Manighar, and we're pretty happy.
Who's the best of the four of them, do you think, Charlie?
It's a difficult question. If you're going on, depends on which distance and ratings and all the rest of it. But you'd say that arguably this year, Drunken Sailor's form has probably been probably the best. But then Manighar ran third to an Irish St Ledger subjoint first. So that between those two, and then Melbourne Cup's a handicap. So it's what weight they've got on the day and what form they're in and everything. So you can't really say who's the best or whatever.